Hey, how you guys doing? I'm sitting here in Smithville High School about to speak to the boys basketball team. They headed into the playoffs, and Coach asked me if I would come down and say a few words to the guys. And as I've been walking around the high school and going on the courts and walking into a locker room, and it just brings back a lot of memories. When I used to play basketball here, when I was part of the team here, and you know, and as I'm sitting there in the locker room just a few minutes ago, I was thinking about, how everything got started for me. Well, it didn't get started on a positive note for me here. I'll never forget that my 8th grade year after basketball season, the coach pulled me into the locker room and he said, "Philip," he says, "look," he says, "I'm friends with your mom." And he's like, "I'm just gonna be honest with you." He said, "Son, you're an embarrassment to this community. You're an embarrassment to this school. You're an embarrassment to the game of basketball." And he says, "I'm begging you, do not play high school athletics. Don't embarrass us like that." And so I did. I was like, okay, I'm an embarrassment, But my sophomore year in high school, somebody believed in me. And it was just simple enough. Why don't you just try it? Just give it a shot. So I tried out, made the team, and if you know me, you know the rest of the story. I went off to college, full ride, and I've been able to travel around the world. I've been able to play with guys in the NBA and some future Hall of Famers, and it's been an amazing journey for me, this sport, basketball. And it all started right here in this little bitty town of Smithville, Texas. And I started thinking about spiritually. And it's like, you know what, my journey started here too, in Smithville, Texas. And I started thinking about that belief. What would have happened if I didn't have that person to believe in me? I probably wouldn't even gone to college. And what would have happened spiritually? I'd probably be headed to hell. And what I want to say to you today is that you may have a coach, you may have an employer, you may have a husband, I don't know, you may have somebody in your life be telling you, you know what, you're an embarrassment. You embarrassment, please, you're horrible, you stink. I don't want you to listen to those voices. This is what I want you to listen to. Listen to what God says about you. God says you're not an embarrassment. God says, you know what, I believe in you. And I know you can be sitting there going, how can you say that? You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how I am. Well, I know this. God sent Jesus to die for you. And I know this about being a father and a grandfather. I would not send my son to die for somebody if I did not believe in him. God believes in you. He believes in you. He believes in you. And Jesus says in Philippians 4:13 that you can do all things through Christ who gives him strength. It is possible for you to do it. You're not an embarrassment. You're not a piece of junk. You just have to do what Amos 3:3 says. Amos 3:3 says this: how can two walk together unless they agree? How can you walk with God unless you agree with what God says about you? And if God believes in you, then you should believe in me. So that's what I want to encourage you with today. You may have been told that you're embarrassed. You may have been told that you're junk. You may have been told that you're an accident. Who knows what you've been told over the years. But I want you to start believing what God says about you. God says you're an amazing person and that he believes in you.